Hey YouTube, welcome back to the layout. We're going to be doing part 13 of our series tonight. And another YouTuber has sent me a pair of Proto SD9s to work on for him. As you can see, I have one up here in the test track. And it came up pretty good. And we have the other one down here. Like I said, they're SD9s. They're both in real grand paint schemes. Although this one up here is got an orange color to it, and this one's got a darker orange to it. They're both DCC ready with the quick plug here and the light board. And unlike my other videos where I've exclusively used Digitrax, the owner has sent me Soundtraxx Tsunamis to install in these locomotives. This particular one is the TSU 1000, and it has the EMD 567 sound project loaded into it. This isn't all that different from the Digitrax one that I've been using. The SDH 164D has pretty much the same setup. It's a little bit smaller and it comes with a speaker. This one's just a touch larger and it does not come with a speaker, but out of the package it does sound significantly better. The owner has also sent me an adapter plug, a JST plug, to go from the 9-pin plug that's here on the decoder to an 8-pin plug, which is acceptable for the light board installed in the locomotive. And I also went and picked up a pair of Soundtraxx speakers for him, part number 810113. This is what I normally use on most of my locomotives. Fits most Jeeps and SD units. The owner did send me some 16mm speakers. Originally what we were planning on installing in the locomotive. I was quite surprised. These did sound pretty good. For such a small size, they sound really good. The only issue I had is the volume wasn't quite there, so I went ahead and got the other speaker like I mentioned. Okay, what you need to do first is take your utility knife or other cutting tool, and you need to remove just the end of this shrink tubing that's on there that protects the decoder, so we can remove the stock wiring harness. And once we get that out, we're going to replace it with the new JST harness, so we can then install into the locomotive. Okay, after that, you can place your new JST harness, and it should look something like this. And then we can get the locomotive set up to install the harness. Now this is the dummy plug. This is what tells this locomotive to run on DC power. And this just comes off just like that with your fingers. And put that off to the side. And this is basically going to pop in its place. It just removes from this styrofoam protectant. And it'll go in. I have to verify the direction here real quick, but it'll go in, as soon as I get my fingers on it, just in its place where it was. And it'll snap right in, just like that. There it goes. Okay, once you get your harness plugged in your light board, we're going to solder in the speaker and do a quick bench test, make sure everything's working correctly before we secure everything inside the locomotive. So I'm just going to, I already tinned these a little bit, solder that. Hopefully my hands don't move too much where it makes a good connection. And there we go, that works pretty good. If I take that, I'll move the camera here in a sec, but I put this on a test track. Looks like I got a winner. So it's going to vibrate there a little bit on the bench work. Grab my controller, make sure that things are working. Always do a bench test as often as you can to make sure you're doing things right, and it'll save you a lot of headaches later. Okay, I've begun securing everything to the locomotive. As you can see, just some regular electrical tape works just fine for securing the decoder on top of the stock light board here. I normally use 3M double-sided carpet tape to secure my capacitors, and I've done that again here. It's tucked in here out of the way. I haven't finished securing the speaker yet, but I'm going to probably try to put it right here. Place some, again, electrical tape to prevent accidental electrical contact from the speaker with the stock light board. In this locomotive, that same speaker is actually right here in the cab, because there's some space here to put that in, and it worked out pretty well. And then again, I put one of those smaller ones that I showed you earlier right up in here. I forget it was either this one or this one, in the radiator fans, just to give a little bit more volume. What I'm hoping to do with this one is just have the one speaker here, being that it's the bigger speaker, and having this one right above the radiator fans. As you can see, they're see-through fans, hopefully producing the right amount of volume and sound without having to place a second speaker in there. Either way is okay. And we'll put this together and we'll give it another bench test. Okay, as you can tell, everything on this is working good. And what I'm going to do is program some values using Decoder Pro to set this up for the owner. Let's put this on program track real quick. I have a double pole, double throw switch to go from mainline operation to program on this particular track. 5308 will be the address, and that is the cab number. If I write the changes here, that'll do that. And I'm going to program a couple of sound changes on here with sound levels. Horn was fine, bell was fine. Actually, I'm going to turn the bell down just a touch. I'm going to turn up the prime mover exhaust volume. We can adjust this as we go. And I'm going to turn up the master volume a little bit. Actually, all the way. And if I don't like it, I come back, I can tweak it. And again, we'll write the changes. And let's see if there's a difference now when I flip the switch again. I'm not sure if you're able to pick it up on the camera, but that's a bit louder. Let me grab my throttle here and we'll test the bell and the horn. Alright, so here's what I ended up with the Decoder Pro program. Turn the master volume all the way up, air horn all the way up, turn the bell down a bit, the exhaust of the prime mover up, and I pretty much left everything else the same. You can go back and forth and change any of these to whatever level you like. If this is too loud, you can always go back and turn the master volume down a little bit, so on and so forth. If you haven't used Decoder Pro before, there's some other lighting stuff on here. The owner was interested in the Mars light, where the headlight was, so you can go here and you can go through and find Mars light and set that up. So there's functions here for motor control, speed tables. You can make this go faster, slower at particular speed steps. Works pretty good right where it's at, so I'm going to leave it alone. The only thing I'm going to do is change the momentum a little bit so it has a nice slow speed up and slow down.